Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Guys, today we are going to discuss a topic. What is the structure and function of nephron? Nephron is present in our kidney. There are 1.2 million nephrons are present in each kidney. So, what is the structure? Basically, first of all, define nephron. Nephron is a functional unit of our kidney. Clear? Okay. This is the functional unit of kidney which is present in our kidney. Clear? Okay. First of all, I will tell you what is the structure of nephron. The structure of nephron is divided into two parts. The first one is renal corpuscle. This one is portion is called renal corpuscle and the remaining portion is called renal tubule. So the structure of nephron is divided into two parts. The first one is renal corpuscle. The renal corpuscle is consist of two things. The first one is C or cup shaped structure. This C or cup shaped structure is called Bowman's capsule, and the second one, this name is also called glomerulus capsule. Bowman's capsule is basically, its name is related to a scientist who discovered it. Okay, the first one is Bowman's capsule, and the next one is there is an teeny network of capillaries, which that teeny network of capillaries is called glomerulus. This one is the glomerulus. Okay. So there are two things in renal corpuscle. The first one is Bowman's capsule and the second one is glomerulus capillaries. Okay. The next, if I move downward, there is an convoluted structure. This convoluted structure is the first convoluted structure, therefore it is called proximal convoluted tubule. And the next one, if I move downward, the next structure is a U-shaped structure. This U-shaped structure is called medullary loop, and it is also called loop of Henle. This is a U-shaped structure which has two. The first one is descending loop, and this one is ascending loop. It's moved downward and going towards upward. Therefore, it is descending, and this loop is called descending loop of Henle, which is an thin part. This is thin part, and the next one is the thick part, which is ascending loop of Henle. So there are two paths, descending loop, and this one is called ascending loop of Henle. And the last one, there is an again after ascending loop of Henle. This is a structure which is called again convoluted. This portion is called distal convoluted tubule. Distal is the last portion of nephron, therefore it is called distal convoluted tubule, and the distal convoluted tubule are further attached with the ducts. That ducts is called collecting ducts. This one is called collecting ducts. This is the green in color, which is called. Okay, there are many nephrons which are attached with a single collecting duct. So we can say that there are minimum number of collecting ducts are present in each kidney. Clear? So this one is nephron and this one is the collecting ducts. This is the basic structure of nephron in our kidney. Okay. Next one, what is the function? What is the function of nephron? Before it, I will tell you that how the renal artery, how the blood vessel enter into kidney and leave the kidney. How is it possible? Okay. First of all, our kidney receive 20% cardiac output in the form of through a artery. This artery is called renal artery. The renal artery, when enter into the kidney, let's see, this one is the renal artery which enter into your kidney. Okay, when it enter into the kidney, it is divided into further branches. Let's see, this one is further divided into different branches. This branches, let's see, this one is the branch when it enter into the kidney and then again divided into the smaller vessels. These vessels are called afferent arterioles. The smaller arteries which are called afferent arterioles, when it enter into the nephron, these afferent arterioles further divided into tiny network of capillaries. These teeny network of capillaries are called glomerulus capillaries, which I told you already, which I have already told you. These are glomerulus capillaries, which are come from the division of afferent arterioles. After the formation of teeny glomerulus capillaries, these are further divided when it leaves the glomerulus, when it leaves the Bowman's capsule. These are further divided into a smaller diameter structure of arteries. These are called efferent arteriole. The first one, when it enters the Bowman's capsule, it is called afferent. When it leaves the Bowman's capsule, these are called efferent arteriole. The basic difference is that the first one, afferent enter and efferent leave, and the second difference is their diameter. Afferent have larger diameter as compared to efferent, which has smaller diameter. The efferent arteriole is going downward and wrap around the proximal convoluted tubule and distal convoluted tubule, around which these are wrapped. Let's see this. These are wrap around proximal and distal convoluted tubule. These are called peritubular arterioles. Peritubular means these are present along and around the proximal convoluted tubule and distal convoluted tubule. Therefore, these are called peritubular arterioles. This one is peritubular arteriole. The peritubular, from there is an other branch going downward. There is an other branch going downward to form a U-shaped structure. This branch is form a U-shaped structure. These are called vasa recta. Clear? These are called, which moves downward. These are called vasa recta, and that arterioles which are present along the proximal and distal convoluted tubule, these are called peritubular arterioles. The vasa recta drain into the renal vein. The renal vein going towards and move towards the inferior vena cava, which pour deoxygenated blood into the right atrium of heart. So this is the basic circulation of our kidney. Okay, let's see where is the structure of nephron present in your kidney. Let's see this. There is your kidney. Clear? And you see that there are pyramids, which are pyramid shaped structure are present in your each kidney. Basically, we divided the kidney into three basic parts. The first one is called renal. The first one is called renal capsule. This one is the renal capsule. There is an you see in a bluish color. This one is a renal capsule, which is present outside the each kidney. Renal capsule, and the next inner one is a renal cortex. You see there is an region, empty region. You see that there is a cortex, and behind it, and when we move more inward, there is an structure which is called medulla. So there is a three layer. The first one is renal capsule, which is present outside, inside renal cortex, and the next one inner side is the medulla. Three parts. Okay. The nephron is present. The first nephron is divided into two structures. Half of the nephron present in the cortex and half of the nephron present in the inside the medullary part. Therefore, it is divided into two parts. The first one, that portion of nephron which is present inside the cortex. Let's see this. This is your nephron, and this portion is inside the medulla, and the next portion again outside the renal cortex. That portion which are present outside the medulla, this portion is called cortisol, and the that portion which is present along the border of medulla and cortex. There is an black color border which is between the medulla and the cortisol. This portion is called juxtamedullary. This portion is called juxtamedullary. Actually, you see that there is Bowman's capsule, second one is proximal convoluted tubule, and third one is distal convoluted tubule are present in the cortisol or renal cortex. There is a U-shaped structure which is called loop of Henle, which is present inside the medulla. Therefore, it is called medullary loop of Henle or medullary loop because this loop is present inside the medulla, therefore it is called medullary loop. Clear? So this is the basic structure, and you see that there are situations present inside the pyramids. There are situations present inside the pyramids. Basically, these situations are of collecting ducts. There are several collecting ducts present inside the medulla, which give its appearance and situated appearance. Therefore, these are the collecting ducts which are present inside the medullary part, and this portion is called pyramid. Clear? The pyramid is finally poured into a renal minor calyces. The renal minor calyces is further poured into renal. The renal minor calyces is further poured into ureter, and ureter going towards the urinary bladder, which attach with the urethra and put the urine outside and force the urine outside our body. Clear? This is the basic structure of nephron present in your kidney. Clear? So there is an blue color vein and red color is artery. This one is renal artery, this one is renal vein, which going towards renal vein going towards your heart. Clear? Okay, this is the basic structure of nephron which is present inside your kidney. Clear? Next is how our nephron is work or function in the kidney. Let's see. There are three processes of functioning of nephron. The first one is pressure filtration. This one phenomena is called pressure filtration. You know that there is a more diameter as compared to efferent arteriole. Efferent arteriole has larger diameter. Here the blood pressure is too much large and higher. Here the blood pressure is too much higher. When blood come into capillaries due to its high pressure, this forces all the filtrate moving or forces into the glomerulus capsule. About 99.5% all the 99.5% all the filtrate coming forces out into the Bowman's capsule. Okay, this because there is the composition of Bowman's capsule is consist of a single flattened epithelial layers. Because it is a single layer, the whole filtrate come into Bowman's capsule. Clear? About 99.95%. This the filtrate of this the composition of this filtrate is similar to plasma, except that the larger molecules which are blood cells, and the second one are plasma protein, which cannot cross the glomerulus capillaries because blood cells and plasma protein have larger diameter, because therefore they cannot cross the plasma or glomerulus membrane. Okay, when the filtrate come into Bowman's capsule, it's going towards proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, here is an high blood pressure, therefore this phenomena is called pressure filtration, because the high blood pressure forces on the glomerulus capillaries, which forces all the filtrate coming into the Bowman's capsule. Therefore this phenomena is called pressure filtration. And the next phenomena is a selective reabsorption. In the selective reabsorption, the remaining part of nephron, which is around about 3 cm long part, the remaining renal tubular structure is around about 3 cm long part. Here is a separate region which reabsorbs again and again the filtrate to form a urine. Okay, let's see. When there is a proximal convoluted tubule, the glucose, water, potassium, magnesium, sodium and salt are again reabsorbed from the proximal convoluted tubule into the blood supply. That blood supply, which is a peritubular capillaries which are present around the proximal convoluted tubule and distal convoluted tubule. So here is again reabsorption of all these nutrients. Okay, when the filtrate going towards loop of Henle, it is round about 60 to 70%. The 99.95% is reduced into 60 to 70% because the remaining filtrate is reabsorbed again into peritubular arteries which are present around the proximal convoluted tube. Here is downward, there is a thin part which is called descending loop of Henle. Here is an again reabsorption of water molecule by a mechanism which is called osmosis. Here is a phenomena of osmosis occur through which water is reabsorbed into the peritubular capillaries. Okay, when we move downward, there is a U-shaped structure. Here is urea, which is added into the filtrate because urea have a toxic effect in our body. Therefore, in the U-shaped structure, there is urea is released into the loop of Henle, U-shaped structure. Okay, the next one is ascending loop of Henle. In the ascending loop of Henle, there is again first one is thick part, and again reabsorption is take place here. The first one is sodium, second one is potassium, third one is chloride is reabsorbed from the filtrate in the ascending loop of Henle. When it leaves, there is a 11 to 12% filtrate is remaining when it leaves the loop of Henle. Again, when it entered into the distal convoluted tubule, it again the reabsorption is again take place. The first one is sodium, chloride, bicarbonate, and water molecule is again reabsorbed in distal convoluted tubule. Okay, when it leaves the distal convoluted tubule, here is a third phenomena. There is this phenomena is called selective reabsorption. Here is selective reabsorption of nutrients take place in the proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, and distal convoluted tubule. The third phenomena, which is called secretion. Secretion. This phenomena is called secretion. There is this in this phenomena there are hydrogen, potassium, and urea, which is toxic to our blood, is released into this filtrate. The basic purpose of secretion is to maintain the pH of our blood. So clear? Next, the filtrate is entered into collecting ducts. This one is collecting duct. If I talk about the collecting duct, in the collecting ducts there is again urea, and the second one is water is again reabsorbed inside the collecting ducts. The collecting ducts are spotted by a tissue which is called connective tissue. Here is you see that there is a blue shaped structure around them which is spotted by a connective tissue, and behind the connective tissue there is in red color which is an artery. There is also spotted by an artery, blood supply. So clear? This one is the collecting duct. The collecting ducts are poured into the pyramids. Pyramids are poured into renal calyces, minor calyces then poured into ureter, and ureter into urinary bladder. So this one is the basic structure and function of nephron, and this one is the vasa recta, in which there is again reabsorption of filtrate take place. So this is the structure of nephron which is present in our each kidney. So if you have any question, so please comments in behind this link. Thank you very much.